27th.
Feb 27th.
It's coming out tomorrow, so February 28th.
28th.
Okay. Is that us?
What?
Okay. We're rolling everywhere? Today is February 28th, and the Yankees are injured again, but the young guys are doing a lot of fun stuff. We've also got Tyler Wade on the program today. Let's do it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake.
And
Recaps galore and weekly awards. Stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake.
What's going on, everybody? My name's JOMBOY, and I'm here with my co-host Jake, and we have special guest Trevor Plouffe sitting in with us because he has been on this RV trip all across every spring training stadium. We are recording this outside of our RV at the Fun and Sun RV Park in Sarasota, Florida. We were at the Orioles spring training, which is a sad sight. Speaking of sadness, we have some sad news on the show, some injuries.
Oh.
But first, Jake, how are you doing?
Yeah, I thought you were just going to say sadness. Here's Jake. I'm good, man.
You haven't been sad this trip. You're
You
looking
and-
hot.
You and I've been running hot the whole trip.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
I've
You
been
photograph
running hot
well.
I've been running hot the whole trip.
I didn't want to say anything, but you look good again. But I'm getting pissed because I literally think it's just the sunglasses.
Yeah, these sunnies are helping me a lot.
Let me try these on. Tell me if I look any better.
What if my eyes were just like messed up? Yeah, man. Let's see them on you.
Well, I got the hood on. I got a whole.
What do you think?
Yeah, it is the sunglasses. That's an old girl trick. You
So
put
I look
sunglasses
fine
on,
now?
You get a extra point.
I look cooler in it now.
I think
They don't
so.
really go for like your vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate sunglasses.
Like you might not be like cool enough to pull them off,
Yeah.
but
Which just means I am cool enough to pull them off. I'm doing well though. We're as you mentioned, we're in our RV park, where we've been the past 20 months. I don't know, but we're doing good, man. We're doing the spring training tour. If you for some reason haven't been following, I mean, go check out all the Talkin Baseball, everything YouTube. You guys know where to find it. We're doing good. I'm doing well. My spirits are oddly high for this deep into the trip, and a Talkin Yanks debut. Our friend,
yeah,
our amigo Trevor Plouffe.
whatever.
You
I'm okay with that.
maybe recognize him from our Talkin Baseball stuff, some Twins, Rays. I'm not doing the whole thing.
You recognize me from just dropping absolute bombs on the Yanks.
Just Phil Hughes
second deckers, whatever.
causing a mess on social media.
I'm excited for you to sit down on this because it's a different side of Jake and I. You think we're biased during talking baseball.
Yeah.
this
is going to be interesting.
This is our show,
'Kay.
so you can chime in. We do have some real news that we have to cover.
Let's do it.
And then we did sit down with Tyler Wade, and we'll put that interview in here as well. Severino is done for the season. MRI test didn't show anything, and then eventually they did a die-cast MRI. That showed a strain. He has to get Tommy John. He's out. We kind of did a little on Twitter, if you follow, we did a little like gut reaction to this. And it's the Severino that we were expecting, who is the 2017 Severino, first half of 2018 Severino. It true ace, that dude was.
Yes,
he was amazing. That's a thing of the past. By the time he heals from this, we're not going to be expecting that anymore because we're going to be hands up in the air like, we'll see what he is. I feel terrible for him. It's shitty for fans as well. It's just all around sucks. What you got?
You're asking me. It does suck. I mean, like we were talking early in the trip about how you got Cole, you got Sevy. That's a hell of a 1-2 punch. Yeah. And we all know how good the Yankees are going to be this year. A lot of that talk was based on the fact that you have those two guys at the top of your rotation. Now you don't. Now, one thing we have been talking about a ton is the options available. I don't know if you want to go into that.
No,
at
actually,
all.
I saw a list. So, Jake, do you have any initial reaction to the Sevy news?
It just sucks. I mean, there's you can't dance around it too much. I mean, as a Yankee fan, you get yourself really excited. Cole is this guy who everyone we've talked to and seen around baseball is like, dude, he looks at pitching different. He's got a special mind besides the arm talent. And you're like, hey, maybe that rubs off on Sevy. Maybe Sevy not having the pressure to be the number one. I mean, the Yankees could have done serious damage if they found that 2017 Luis Severino. They still can. But yeah, and you just feel for the dude. I mean, he kind of got that bag a little bit. They signed him to an extension, which Yankee fans don't love, but hey,
he earned that. So you know what? Like
Yeah.
I've seen that on social media. How people are like, oh, this guy, like he signed, he's been hurt, like what a bum. It's like, come on, man. Like
Yeah.
he signed, he earned that. They don't give those away for free. You earn them.
Yeah, I also think that there's a problem with baseball fans where they forget that, like, these guys are humans a little. Like with Paxton and his back surgery, people are like, why didn't he get the surgery earlier? And Jake and I on the show were like, dude, like,
You don't just get surgery.
you don't just go get
No.
surgery. And for Severino, Tommy John, that's like it's a hard pill to swallow. Like, I'm gone for a year. Like, I'm
Oh my
out.
God, it's longer than a year.
I know. But if this showed up on a diecast MRI last year, they would have never brought him back. We could have been like 6 months ahead. And there's a chance it could because he said he had this pain when he was pitching in the postseason last
Yeah.
year. So something needs to get fixed with the way the Yankees do their MRIs. Do the diecast right away. Last year there was an issue with Severino in the MRIs as well, where he just didn't want to do it. So then he caused another setback because something was there that they didn't see. So, I mean, I don't know if it's expensive. I don't know if it's the player
It doesn't
prerogative to
matter.
say
Like,
no.
Don't tell me. Don't talk
Yeah.
expensive when you're talking about getting an MRI.
I'm saying do them better. Do them quicker.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. I think some guys. I mean, I don't know if for the listeners, if you got an MRI, it's not a fun thing to do. I've had
No.
several of them. It's terrible, and especially if you're a guy that is claustrophobic, you're not going to want to do it.
I am. I don't like it.
So there is something to say about that. Yes, if you at this point in your athletic career, you just got to do it.
yeah.
It don't matter if you are claustrophobic or not. Go do it.
I forget if you said this or our new friend Chris Archer, name drop. We saw him at Pirates
friend of the
spring
pod.
training. He's a friend of the pod now. Because I said, because you guys were talking, Trevor and Chris were talking. You guys played together, and we kind of thought he knew JOMBOY. And then he looked over and he's like, "You're a Yankee fan, right?" He's like,
Yeah,
"What's
he
up with Sevy?" And then we talked about it a little bit, and I said something dumb as usual. I was like,
Yeah.
Sevy was walking around confident that he was injured, but maybe be back in a couple weeks because that's what all the reporters were saying. And I think you said it, but you said, when you're an athlete, you talk yourself, you say it's not me. Like oh yeah, the other guys get Tommy John, but not me. Like I'm sure it's just something else, and then you actually go and get it, and I mean,
This is where the competitiveness works against you.
right.
You want to be competitive. You want to be on the field. So when something happens, you're like, man, like, what's the best case scenario?
Right.
And I'm going to lean towards that. Oh, I feel a little tight in my calf. Speaking of calves, we'll probably talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel a little tight. Oh, it's nothing. I just got to get it stretched out. Next thing you know, you're pulling it.
Right.
So there's always that when, I've kind of had enough injuries, or I did have enough injuries where I started to settle on the other side where I was like, worst case scenario every single time. That's not a good headspace to be at. But before that, it was always like, dude, you know what? My timeline's, 4 to 6 weeks. I'll be there at 3.
Right.
But the smart thing is, and you will hear this, every single time you get injured as a player, you'll have someone say, look, man, I've had this injury. Take your time getting well. Make sure you're good to go. But, man, when you're in it, when you're in those shoes, and you got other guys counting on you,
Right.
in this instance, you got New York counting on you. You don't want to let those people down. You want to go out and do your job. You want to earn that money. So I get it. Like you don't want to say like, fuck it, I'm gonna take my 4 to 6 weeks. Let me take 7. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that comes back at 3.5, and that bites you in the ass, or whatever. What's the saying? I don't even know. But that gets you more often than it doesn't.
Yeah, I'll bite you in the ass.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, the New York Football Giants coach, Joe Judge, just said, I'm not going to talk about individual players until the game start, and I'm not going to give timetables for anything. And as an organization, we're not going to give timetables because
that's good. It's good policy.
that dude's calf strain may take 7 weeks, and he busted his ass, and this dude's calf strain may take 4 weeks, and he was pretty lazy about it because all bodies are different. and you can't just compare every injury to every.
Absolutely.
I think I've been saying this forever. The Yankees need to stop.
Forever.
I have all last season. I said they need to stop giving timetables for returns. All it does is it's like the feed the monger of the crowd, where that term is.
And like I said, it goes back to where, as an athlete, you hear this timetable, or you maybe have seen another guy with that same injury,
Right.
and you're like, I can beat that.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the timetables are stupid.
So
You need to know, but you should always lean on the back end of them.
Yeah. So
Jim,
what this
who do they replace him with?
Well, what this does to the rotation is Cole stays the number 1, Tanaka stays the number 2. In the playoffs, Tanaka was always number 2 anyway, but he's bumps up to number 2 for the regular season. Hap climbs up to number 3 spot, and Hap's had 4
Huge spring.
4 huge spring innings so far. He reworked his tools. He's dicing guys up. I think 4 innings, 4 strikeouts,
Huge.
He's in the book.
no home runs.
He's in the book.
No runs, whatever. So Hap bumps up to number 3. Monty bunts up to number 4. Number 5 spot. Cash says that they're going to use people from within. I 100% believe him. I don't think they're going to make a trade until June.
What was the
end of
Cashman
July.
quote? Didn't he say, like, there aren't pitchers available?
I wouldn't expect any domino effect or cause an effect in terms of us being able to go to the marketplace, the winter marketplace this time of year. It doesn't exist. And he's kind of right.
Well,
You got to overpay.
he's just gonna say that. You don't want to put your cards out on the table.
Dude, Cash has been doing this thing for the last year where he literally says exactly what he does.
A little bit.
I don't know. Look,
He
it's
did
a
it
bad,
forever.
It's bad to negotiate that way. Like, yeah, hey, we need to start a pitcher.
Right.
I better go out there, because then teams are like, okay, yeah, you need to start a pitcher. What are you gonna give? If you go out and give the cold shoulder, say we don't need anybody,
Yeah.
that helps your negotiating tactic.
Of course, but I do believe him. But they do have a list of names here. We mentioned Chris Archer that they could. So, like, if you wanted to go sign someone, you could get Vargas. You get
Jason
Clay Buchholz.
Vargas.
You can get
No,
Clayton Richard.
no.
You're not going to do any of that.
No.
You're not going to do any of that. So if he bumps it up, it's either like Mike King, Lasagna, Davey Garcia, Chad Bettis. I think that
Nick Tropiano.
I don't think it's going to be
know.
Garcia. Clark Schmidt pitched today. I don't think it's going to be Schmidt. You don't just rush a prospect from Double-A to the majors because you have a 10-week hole to fill.
Absolutely not.
So I don't like, but a lot of Yankees fans.
What's
are
the
crying for
10-week hole?
Paxton comes back.
Paxton comes back. Okay,
So I don't think that's, and then Domingo also comes back from suspension as well.
sure.
So that's why you're not really like, if you can get away with one of these like a rotation of young guys or an opener and then a bulk guy for the 5th spot for 2 months, you do it because you have Paxton coming back, Domingo coming back.
But then you got to look, because they don't care about the regular season, Jim.
Exactly.
They want to know, where are we going to be come October?
Exactly.
So,
But that's when the trade would come into place anyway. I think they'd be
Yeah.
looking for a starting pitcher at the deadline, even if like,
yeah, I agree.
because someone's going to get hurt by then. Naturally, they already got hurt. So
And that's the thing. The season's so long that I think,
It's a crazy space for them to be in, because they don't
Right.
care about the regular season.
No,
They're
I
going to be in the playoffs, and that's you got to structure your team. So what do you need in the playoffs? How many guys? 3 starters, right?
3.5.
3.5.
You need 3 starters in a good bullpen. Throw one of the guys, a long guy
Sure.
in the bullpen, whatever. So they need to look and say, who do we got? Who are going to be our 3 guys?
Well, I mean, if it's Cole, Tanaka, Paxton, we're all happy with that.
Perfect.
We're like, really.
So then I do believe Cash. Then he's like, we don't really need anybody.
yeah.
And that's the thing. You can throw the kitchen sink of Chad Bettis, or you could try the younger guys, Loizaga.
You go opener and then a bulk guy, 5th spot. They
the-
did it for like 10 weeks last
Probably
year.
the biggest winner in the Yankees organization right now is Mike King.
Yeah, I think so.
He was a fast climber. He refigured his things out with the Yankees. He got the. Did he pitch for the Yankees, or did he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
come up for the last game?
No, he pitched one.
He pitched one game. I mean, he's a guy that Matt Blake, new pitching coach. I think he's a guy that he's got to be licking his lips and saying, hey, if I can show my stuff and maybe have a couple innings at spring training, that I'll get a shot, because I'd rather see Mike King, because you start talking about
Did you
the
tweet? You should tweet that. Breaking. Mike King's licking his lips.
licking
yeah,
his
that's
lips.
interesting.
Yeah.
We're really messing our sayings up today. aren't
I'm just, well, we haven't even got started with my sayings yet, but I just think when you talk about the Yankees they want to win the World Series. Mike King is a young guy with a lot of arm talent that, hey, if he throws a couple innings, he could find himself in a long man role and be an asset for this team. Chad Bettis, I think you kind of know what's going to happen. Like, he could give you a couple starts and get you through a month,
we?
but I think end of the day, he's, what the Yankees are trying to do in October, I don't think Chad Bettis is involved in that. No shots fired at Chad. Go Rockies.
If they do want to look for a trade halfway through the season, and obviously this is a little too far out.
Yes.
It's a little too far out for me to do this, but there's a list here of guys: John Gray, Chris Archer, Matthew Boyd, Caleb Smith, Yu Darvish. What? Quintana? Okay, get out of my face with Darvish and Quintana. But Caleb Smith for the Marlins. Marlins is interesting. We talked about them trying to trade him on the PPP. Matthew Boyd, I wouldn't touch him. Well, I think the Tigers are going to ask a lot because they're rebuilding.
Isn't he a lefty?
Yeah.
Don't need any more lefties on that staff.
You're all
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Too many lefties. You don't
I
need
got
that.
you. I got you.
So we'll see. I don't think we need to go deep into that conversation.
Give me
right
your
now.
dream trade candidate. People that are realistically available. Say you guys are still kind of searching for a rotation guy, a rotation piece. Who's your guy?
I don't know who's available. Like,
John Gray or Archer?
I don't know enough about Gray. I'd have to defer to Jake. I've never liked Archer's antics on the mounds, but
Okay.
the Yankees clubhouse I think is stronger than.
Did you get a
Anyway.
chance when you talked to him? Did you get a different sense of who he is?
No, same guy.
Same guy. Okay.
I think he's kind of like. I like him now. I think I was always half joking, half. His antics actually make me mad. Like his body language can be very bad sometimes.
Well,
on the
his
mound.
hat's not going to fall off anymore because
Yeah.
he got a haircut.
But he jumps and skips around. But anyway, his stuff is nasty. If he can put it together, I think he's a good piece that they can get for half a season. I'd like a rental.
Chris Archer is going to be pitching for the Yankees or the Twins in the postseason this year. So
If that's the case, if that's like who else,
Yeah.
they can also get him to stop someone else, that'd be cool.
You might hate this, Trevor, or you might love it. How about that?
Those are the two
That's
options.
how you and I
That's what we're
work.
gonna see, aren't
That's
we?
how you and I function. I do when I start talking Yankees trades, like Jimmy says, the plan is still going to be Garrett Cole, Tanaka, Paxton. When you're looking at someone, it's a rental or someone maybe could start that fourth game potentially in a 7-game playoff series, something like that. And I do love someone like Chris Archer because you're gonna hate this. I think you can catch a little bit of Yankee magic. Like
Oh my
you're coming to the Bronx for 3 months. If Chris Archer is right and
Especially going into a contract year.
and you get New York behind you pushing for October, like you know him, like he would love
He would
that.
love
He
it.
would feed off of that.
And
And-
it's not as dumb as I thought it was going to be.
Thank you. That's the Jake story, Ellie story.
But I don't think that just goes with New York. It's a change of
But-
scenery type thing.
Well,
If
here's-
you're on a winning
but, like,
team.
here's
he's
what
been
I'm-
on- He hasn't been on. Yeah.
When a couple guys we've seen on this spring training trip, and I'll name drop again, we saw Alex Cobb. He's with the
Wow.
Orioles. Who knows if he's available? And again, we'll have to see what these guys do
Alex
this year.
Cobb sounds like the second piece they get, the Lance Lynn, Jaime Garcia.
I like the. I didn't think
Cobb's
about.
got AL East experience.
I didn't
so.
think about it. The only problem with Cobb is, he's got
2 years left.
2
something
years
like that.
left. So
But the Yankees have Happ, Tanaka, and Paxton all coming off the book. So if they do trade,
I
and
like Cobb.
they
He's-
want someone with years, John Gray's also another good option.
Cobb is also, I think, team friendly on the deal, and he's pitched in the AL East before and had success.
But
But Yankees fans are not going to like that because they're going to look at his stats the last couple of years. It's not
Right.
great, but
Best case is they're trading for a 4, though.
here's and that's my thing. I think
you never know what's going to happen.
if it was Alex Cobb
I
or
said best
Archer,
case.
Yeah.
I would go Archer because I could see him getting that New York life. Like, I think Cobb's going to come in and do his thing, which is really solid, and the Yankees could still use that. You could see Archer putting together 2 months and
Playing off
loving
the
all of it.
and playing off the emotions. a little
He
bit.
would relish
Yeah.
in playing in New York. And just really, I can see that. I'm not going to fucking call it Yankees magic. Change the scenery, playing for a good team,
a good
contract
team.
year.
Right.
And this guy's played in the AL East before, so it's comfortable for him to go over there. He's a guy that, honestly, man, I don't know what it was, and I think probably I'm a little biased because he came out to California, he put in work with Flaherty,
I liked
friend of the
Archer.
pod.
I take back what I said. When we met him, he was very cool. But
Yes.
there's still a vibe to him that he's. I don't know the way to put it. I don't. Someone say spacey, like spiritual, or like kind of like talks in these like this bigger universe.
Cerebral.
That's a good word. He's a smart
I don't know if
dude.
that works.
I
It
don't
does
know.
work. It does work. He's a smart guy, and he's always had some of the best stuff in the big leagues. His problem has been location, Problem has been staying healthy the last couple of years. But the guy could turn it on at any point. Like, he's a guy that if he threw a no-hitter, you wouldn't be like, oh, my gosh, Chris Archer threw a no-hitter. Like, I expect him every time he goes out there, there's a chance that he does it.
Jake and I are Googling
Cerebral.
Oh, my God.
It's just like
not, yeah.
you're a thinker.
Yeah. All right, let's
He
move.
is a thinker. He
Yeah,
is. That's
he
a
is.
good,
You-
like, that's a good thing.
In the 5 minutes I saw him, you could see he was well thought.
Sometimes you're a dummy and you're good at baseball. Sometimes you're cerebral and you're good at baseball. I'd rather go to that side.
Yeah, that's
All
fair.
Let's move on to the other bad news.
Yes.
Giancarlo Stanton probably won't be ready for opening day. He has a calf strain. I think it was like grade 1 or grade 2. Said this to you, Jake. If last year never existed, this
Right.
injury wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Right.
He's fine.
But last year did exist.
But last year did exist, and a calf strain turned into a hip strain, turned into a this thing, turned into a that thing. So I totally understand.
Me and
Yankees fans.
BBD were going over it. I think, was it shoulder to bicep and then knee?
Yeah, it was like shoulder, bicep. No, it was bicep, then shoulder
Shoulder.
during rehab. Other way around,
Yeah, something like that.
and then hit by the pitch.
in the
in the-
knee,
in the
which led to
knee.
a calf strain.
It was
and did
unreal.
it come
Yeah.
back up or something? There was
Yeah.
like a weird one.
You
He's
guys need
unreal.
to just lay
Then he
off
came
Giancarlo.
back. He came back and had like the slide, yeah, and like hurt the
Hurt
knee.
the knee. Yeah. I still think that this can put him. He misses the first 2 weeks of the season, and I lean more that that's the case. But I think maybe I'm trying to be optimistic. I was very pessimistic last year with some of these injuries, where I was like, double the return time, double it. And now I don't know why Paxton. I think he's going to be earlier, and they're saying he's progressing really well. He's starting to throw in like a couple days.
They should just pump the brakes on these guys. Like we said, no one cares about the regular season in New York. They're going to win.
They're going to be in the
AL
playoffs.
East, or at very least be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Stanton should take extra time.
Yeah.
Make sure he gets it right. Like,
But
make sure he's 100%.
But
Yeah.
He's a guy.
I've done both caps.
He missed
not
all.
fun.
He missed all of last year. He's going to be, and he was not happy about it. Obviously, he's going to be scratching and clawing to get back. I'm not that worried about Stanton's coming back in his return, but the injuries as a whole
Right.
are just fucking old. We have 4: Paxton, Judge, Stanton, Sevy already.
Sevy's, that's a tough one. The other guys will all be fine.
Do you think Giancarlo Stanton's doing too much of something?
No.
Okay.
I think that there are certain guys who are more susceptible to, soft tissue injuries. I was one of them. Dude, I did everything I could to not have these soft tissue injuries, and you just get them. It's the way sometimes it's the way your body's built, and you're doing these different motions, and it happens. And for me, a lot of times I was rushing back from injuries. Like pull this oblique, I'm rushing back for it. Then I pull this oblique,
Right.
or it just he needs to take the time.
And no,
He doesn't need spring training. He doesn't need April. Hopefully he's back in April, but he doesn't need April. Who cares?
yeah.
Make sure this guy is locked and loaded for the
Right.
end of the season.
All
October.
right. So what does this do for the Yankees, at least to start the season? Clint's basically on the
Let's
roster.
go, Clint.
Talkman's going to be in.
Is he a friend of the pod?
Clint?
Yeah.
No, I'm very mean to him.
Why?
You don't want me to get into it.
Okay.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff I can't even tell you on mic, so I'll tell you off mic.
Ooh.
Speaking.
Speaking of mics,
I got to play against him a little bit in the old 3A.
crazy talented.
Oh, yeah. Can fucking crush the ball. Crushed the ball today.
Fast hands.
Fat, legendary.
Strong
basket.
guy.
Yeah.
Twitch.
Good
I,
hair.
I think his swing should be called the twitch because it looks like when you're watching it, it looks like the video is
He almost
missing
needs-
frame rates.
Yeah, he needs to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put it in slow-mo, it's still fast.
Yeah.
Take that, Clint. There's a compliment.
Clint, take that compliment, Clint.
Yeah, take that. Anyway.
Clint, just relax. You'll be all right.
Talkman's going to be in left guard. He's going to be in center. And then I think
still want to see Talkin in center, but I know that's not happening.
you think Gardner's not going to give that up. He'll fuck.
I just think Gardner's a Gold Glove left fielder and Talkman's young, but hey,
Maybe they switch it up.
I've been hammering the Talkman drum, not just because we interviewed him, but because his numbers were crazy good and he just felt comfortable and he's
When is Hixie back?
Nah, for a while.
it's a while.
Yeah.
Like post All-Star break at best.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
TJ.
That's fine. Get that motherfucker back. He's
Yeah.
a player.
Yeah.
Again, we're saying we don't care about the regular season.
It's
I don't want to say we. That sounds disgusting.
Oh,
to me.
wow. Trevor Plouffe,
The vomit
Yankees.
on
the
Our
table.
Yanks.
BBD, did you get any update on Andujar in left field today in the outfield?
Did he play left field today?
I thought he was
Yesterday.
yesterday.
He caught a ball.
He made a play in left. It was like a pop up.
You guys
He called off the
Yankees
shortstop. That was like the
podcast.
notable part of it. It was like
Okay.
he was calling someone off. Felt good about it.
He looked like a left fielder.
Oh, he did. He ran a pop-up priority play in spring training.
Look, I'm
He's
just reading
fucking give him the
tweets.
Gold Glove now.
Hey, I think
Jesus.
Andujar's the DH now until Stanton's back and Talkin's in left and Gardner's in center and Clint will get some time rotating in there
And
somehow.
I think this
with Wade as the
Yeah,
infielder.
where's Wade? Where's my guy?
I can't believe I missed this. This is all part of Cashman's plan
to trade Clint.
to get.
Oh shit!
No, it's to
Clint
get.
for Archer.
it's
He's
to
gonna
get-
be a pirate.
It's to get Talkman, Clint, and Andujar some run. Giancarlo's just going to take his time, get those guys playing every day, build the value up, and flip.
Yeah.
It's genius.
All right. I'm gonna now calm Yankee fans down that are so nervous about the injuries.
Calm us down.
How
Calm
many,
me and Trevor
all right,
down.
Trev,
Our
how many-
Yankees.
Trev, how many
So
games?
nervous.
How many games did the Yankees win last year?
104.
I think it was 103.
103.
Well, how many
Sorry.
games did Giancarlo Stanton play?
I don't know. Not that many.
18.
12, 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many did Luis Severino play?
Not many.
I think
Three.
3?
Yeah.
As I had that. Nice.
So
I watch.
who's on the team that wasn't on the team last year?
What's the
It's
year?
Garrett Cole.
What's the year this year? It's 2020. That's
I'm
not,
just
that's not
saying,
look
honestly,
bad.
This
sure.
team won 100
Ooh.
games. What's that?
You got powerful there.
I get it. I know where you're
You
going
got
with this. I have been saying this whole damn time the Yankees are going to win the AL
Damn
East.
Yankees.
I'm just trying to
Whatever.
calm everyone down.
Yeah,
It's
calm
we're
down.
running the same team out there, but we got
People-
Cole
People will be fine.
instead of CC.
People will be there when you need them to be there. No one cares about spring fucking training. I've been trying to
Wow.
just tell everyone that. Don't worry about spring training. Don't worry about April.
There's some
if you're the
things you watch
Yankees,
for.
don't worry about April.
You watch for how Andujar can play left field. That's something that you keep an eye on.
He's not going to play it well.
He might play better than Clint, and that's basically what we're looking for.
You know, like there are very few guys that just go out there and become great. Alex Gordon went out there and became great.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't expect many people to do that. So like,
Got to work.
whatever
Not
happens
in the-
there,
not
just
in
be
Yankees.
serviceable, right?
Not in Yankee Stadium's huge left field.
What
Especially
It's a
not
big
in Yankee
left field.
Stadium.
is it?
Yeah.
It's one of the bigger.
Whatever. It's not like it's crazy.
No,
It's left field.
No, it's huge.
Just let him be serviceable. Don't worry about what his defense is. He caught a fly ball, called a fucking guy off. Wow. Like, let him just go out there. If he catches the routine ones, be happy. That's all we care about.
I don't think he's going to play much out there.
Yes.
Hey, and I know we said it almost facetiously,
Good word.
Facetiously.
because he's coming up after this, Tyler Wade, but
He can play the outfield.
he plays a nice outfield.
He
also hit
is-
a bomb.
Yes, he
Hit a
did.
bomb.
I am a big Tyler Wade fan. Even before he was a friend of the pod, I got to see him in AAA in Scranton, and
You get to see him every day in the RV.
he can play. He can play some middle infield, like very impressive.
No, he's great. All right, Trev, any final words after your first appearance on
what do you
Talkin'
have for the
Yanks?
Yankee fans?
I wasn't as big of a heel as I thought I was going
Yeah.
to be.
It's because you like us. And we're
I like
rational.
you guys.
We're rational
Well,
guys.
I think I am pushing you towards the rational side.
No. That's been our thing
Do you
all
want
along.
to? Do you want to give us a Yankee hot take? What do you got up your sleeve?
Chris Archer's number 2 in the playoffs.
Oh, I
Number
like
2
that.
starter.
I love that.
You think Tank died or something?
I think Chris Archer's going to have a hell of a year, and he's going to be your number 2 starter in the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Or the Twins. So, I mean, what? Who wants them?
Either
All right.
way.
That's all. Thank you guys very much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with another mini episode. Go Yanks. Tell 'em, Grams.
Go Yankees.